Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Toxic Talks, episode number 14. This one, we're doing it a little bit differently. I'm currently making this on a Friday instead of a Saturday, just like we made our other videos, because tomorrow I got to take my car in to get its first service, so that should be fun. Uh, but trying to shift some things around in the schedule, and it just sort of worked out the way things are going. So we're going to be making it tonight instead of tomorrow. So, but first things first, how is Throne going? Well, we're almost done with our main build. We fully traded everything minus the Burkant's daggers, but the Burkants haven't been released yet, so we're still waiting on that. A little bit over a month now into the release. We're still waiting on a lot of different items to be released, and Burkant's is one of them. But we're so close. It's a few more levels on the accessories, and then 2 pieces of armor that need to get leveled up quite a bit. I think we're at like 8 now, so 4 more levels. So a decent little chunk of change, at least for the levels. But the traits, they're basically done. And Burkants, we did the blessing stacking, and that's going very well. So that's what we've been doing for our main. For our alt, it's been it's been a little bit trickier. As you guys know, we switched our build, but we're trying to get it up as quickly as we possibly can. Uh, we're still a little bit of ways. We're starting to get some things usable in terms of tier 2, but it's gonna be a little bit of a grind, to say the least. We'll see what ends up happening with that. I think we'll be at least 5,000 combat power by the end of the week. But we'll have to wait and see. It's gonna be a little bit of a yikes to get that one up and sorted, especially using crossbow and greatsword for the longest time. But it was definitely a switch that needed to be made. Because I'll be honest, I am really enjoying spear. I really am. But we'll see what ends up happening with that. Now, in terms of Tarkov, well, um, we're at the Lightkeeper, or should I say, we are going to visit him. We tried visiting him today on stream, but my dumbass looked the wrong way at Zerachi and got my ass killed. So pretty much after this video is made and I make all the thumbnails and all that stuff, we're going to be heading over to the Lightkeeper. I don't think we're going to do a quest for him quite yet, but that's basically the plan. And in terms of Lightkeeper, at least the initial plan now is going to be just getting through 3 of his quests to get the mask that we want. Obviously, eventually, we'll probably get around to doing all of his quests, but that's way later down the road. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's basically Tarkov. We're still slowly but surely grinding through that. And apparently today, Verdansk came back out, which was interesting to see. I don't know if I'll end up playing it. Probably, more than likely not. I shouldn't say probably, more than likely not. Just because I don't feel like keeping up with Call of Duty, getting all the weapons that I need to upgraded, yada yada yada. But I think I will try to at least keep up with like watching videos on it. It does look very interesting, but honestly speaking, unless Microsoft makes Call of Duty into something pretty good, I don't know how how often I'll be playing Call of Duty again, just to say the least. But it's been fun. But in terms of some interesting things that happened in my life the past week, um, I got my first sponsorship deal. However, I had to decline. I'm not going to say which company it was or which organization, but I had to decline for, number one, moral reasons, but also I basically, it could have turned sour for me in the long run. So instead of taking possible money, I just said, "Nah, I'm good." But it was a fun thing to see. Like, oh, I have a sponsorship deal. Holy shit! Uh, I thought that was pretty cool. For me, it's for the longest time it's been like partnerships. Like, hey, you promote us, we'll promote you, and this was the first one that basically they were going to be um, offering me some monetary things. I don't know exactly what, because I had to decline, but that was a little bit of a nice little ego boost for myself. So that was fun. But in terms of my life, it's been a pretty hectic week for me. If you guys have watched stream, I've had to make a ton of phone calls, sort some things out on stream that it's been a bit of a yikes, sort of multitasking with everything going on in my life. I'm not going to go too crazy into detail about it, but um, it's been it's been interesting to say the least. And you know, I think I think the message that I can say going through this past week and even 2025, if you guys have been keeping up with Toxic Talks, is just keep pushing through. Life doesn't get any easier. It may not get harder, but it definitely isn't going to get easier. Regardless of how things go in life, you can be rich, you can be poor, you could have a ton of health, you can be in the hospital, bedridden. Um, Life is tough. Life is tough, and um, you just got to keep pushing forward. That's that's the that's the difference between greatness and mediocrity, I would say. Um, People who stand still and are comfortable with the basically the pain that they're being given, it doesn't really amount to a lot. But if you're able to just trudge through all the nonsense, all of the bullshit, as I say, um, you're going to come out on the other side, number one, a way, way, way better person, and number two, a stronger person. So, uh, if this, if this, oh, what are we in now? April 4th. Holy shit, dude! This year's been going by way too quickly, but I guess that's a good thing because everything that's been going on. It's it's been a roller coaster to say the least. It's been a roller coaster, and I know I've heard from a lot of people. We talked about it. I think the last Toxic Talks. One of my mods was going through some stuff. Um, I know ToXc is going through some things. So she sort of sorted a lot of it out. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but there was a lot of should I do this? Should I do that? Basically, different points or different directions that she could have gone in life. And well, it seems like she sorted that out, thankfully. But me, uh, my family, those around me. I haven't heard too many crazy wonderful things, and well, as of the recording of this video, which is Friday, if anyone's been keeping up with the news, you if you guys got a 401k, holy shit, holy shit. But you know, dude, life is lifing. Life is lifing this year, to say the least. Like, and that's basically why I made my message to just keep pushing through, because it really is not going to get easier. I can almost guarantee you that. It might there might be for a time it'll feel nicer, but you know, the good old saying, good men create easy times create soft men create hard times create good men. That cycle, that's basically how it goes in life. It's not going to get better. It may not get worse, but we're all living in the world. And I'm not going to say exactly this quote, but if you guys have watched stream, there is a quote that I like to use um, that basically describes what life is, and uh, is basically what's going on right now. But you know, that's why I make these videos. That's why I stream. That's why I make guides. You know, I- if 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 anything, if I can't make my life simpler, I want to make those around me. Give them 8 hours of stream, whether or not you guys watch it in its entirety, but 8 hours of stream and like anywhere from like 15 to 30 minutes worth of guide videos, helpful videos, and then toxic talks, which can range anywhere from 10 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on how much there is to talk about. But as long as I can, you know, take your mind off things. And I know a lot of toxic talks hasn't had too many uplifting stories, but I hope at least the message itself, you can find some solace in that, because again, you never know what troubles people go through in life, but you can almost guarantee that they are. So I just want to be there to help each and every one of you guys that I possibly can. And even if it's just a little bit at a time, that's what matters. But um, that's basically the message of the week: is keep pushing forward, get through what you need to get through, and you'll be happy you did on the other side. But that's basically what I have, I think, to talk about. But just off the top of my head, um, in terms of gaming, Night Rain, still debating, but I do think at least we'll do a little bit of streaming on it. But I was talking with Carnage, and then I think a couple other people about it, um, about what it's going to be like, and I think they agree with me that it's going to be one of those games that technically, like, you can go try hard, but if you have other games and other things going on in your life, you don't really need to. So um at least I'm leaning more towards having Night Rain be sort of like a secondary game. If I have nothing to make for Throne and Liberty, like no videos to make for Throne and Liberty, we can obviously make some Night Rain videos, and that shouldn't be too difficult, because quite honestly, it seems like we're coming to the end of the Throne and Liberty video cycle. I've had to basically repeat a few videos in the past few weeks in terms of that. I mean, in fairness, they have a Talandre twist to it, but um, Talandre is supposed to last 6 months. We're 1 month in, and kind of running out of ideas, but I do have maybe a few more weeks worth of it. So hopefully enough to at least get us to Night Rain. And if new things release for Throne and Liberty, which I don't know if they will, they might, but we'll have some ideas. And yeah, so that's basically how I'm feeling about Night Rain, is to sort of, I wouldn't say take over Tarkov, but at least for a little while, maybe replace it for maybe a few weeks or a few months. Because initially, even like before Tarkov, we were doing Elden Ring, and then Elden Ring got taken over by Tarkov, and well, we'll see what ends up happening. We still got 2 months or something like that, a month and a half until there, so we'll see what ends up happening at the bare minimum. That's at least that for Night Rain. And in terms of, I'm trying to think. I don't think we've gotten any updates on Borderlands in a bit. I haven't really been keeping up with it because it's so far away. But at least from what I've seen, it looks interesting. GTA 6 apparently is still rumored to be coming out in October, so basically around the same time as Borderlands. Um, but actually, speaking of GTA, this is something that I seriously found interesting. Um, I can't remember if it was an Asmongold video or what it was, but there was a video made basically around gaming, is that developers are doing their absolute best to not schedule release dates around GTA 6 because they know they're going to get fucking hammered. They know they're going to get hammered. So basically, if GTA does end up coming out around October something, you might not see a lot of video game releases in October, to say the least. I know Borderlands is pretty darn close, but Borderlands has a very, I would say, a very niche player base to say the least. Not that none of them are going to play GTA, but I don't know how many of them actually will. But that's basically how that went, which was interesting. But we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening with that. At least for right now, the only game that's really on my radar between now and like the end of this year is basically Night Rain, unless something crazy like what was it? Once Human kind of like makes an announcement, probably not, but we'll end up seeing what happens. But yeah, that's basically what's happening in the gaming field. Again, uh not too much happening in the news section. We did go over basically the stocks going to shit, but you know, no financial advice in this video, but um if anyone is in finance, they would have probably foreseen this happening and made moves to adjust for what was happening. But you want to know something? I wouldn't be too worried about it, at least in terms of the long term. Maybe the short term, who knows? Who knows what happens? Nobody can predict the future. But uh, if the past is evident of anything, even with the Great Depression, not that I think that we'll ever be in the Great Depression ever again, but I've the Great Depression was to happen with what's going on in the world today. Well, look at what happened 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years after. We're still going up and up. Um, it's not something to, I would say, terribly worry about long term, maybe short term again, but long term, everything seems to even itself out. And again, as this week's video, the message: keep pushing forward, even if the stock market goes to shit. Just keep pushing forward, keep making the best moves you possibly can, and at the end of the day, you'll be in a incredible position that you never thought you could be. But other than that, that is all I have for you guys. So I hope each and every one of you guys has a wonderful, wonderful day. And as always, take care, and I'll talk to you guys later.